Hello everyone. I wanted to do another plan with me. I haven't done one in a while and it's now already into October. I have fallen behind on planning partially because I had COVID, and then partially because we've just been having a weird time mental health wise, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in this video once we get started. These are just to block out like personal names and stuff, but this is my layout for October. I already did the plan with me where we created this, so you can go watch that video, but that's already done, which is great. So that means I just need to go ahead and set up October because I haven't done any of it. As you can see, it is all completely bare. So I don't know if you can hear that, but they're my little one's not behaving. So I'll fill these out later because what I want to do mainly in this video is just decorate for the weeks we have in October. I am very excited about this because I have, you know, a bunch of new sticker books that I really want to utilize and have fun with. I kind of know the vibes, I guess, of this week and how it's been going. Also, I have to give my little pin a little moment. It is so freaking cute. We went out, me and my sass had our 10-year anniversary, and we went out to like the mountains, and there was this little bookstore and it had a bunch of these, but this one was definitely my favorite. It's like that squishy material and it's super cute, but the best part, of course, is that it's actually a really nice, I don't know if you can see it, it's actually a really nice pen. So I am very excited about that, and I wanted to keep it with me during our planning today. So that's just gonna live right there. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think I want to pick out washies first and then go back. I did organize these a bit different before. I had them in the clear container, but I like them in this better because the other container, they kept rolling around because there was more room than I needed and it just felt like a waste of space. And I bought 3 of these bits from like the dollar store, I think, because they didn't have anything like that at the thrift places that I go. I'd been looking and they didn't have ones like this that weren't like completely banged up and everything, which I usually don't mind, but for this kind of stuff I want it to be good. That was a whole lot of rambling. I'm feeling very rambly today, so you've been warned. Oh. My nails are also still a little wet, so if it looks like I'm being weird with my hands, that's why. I just wanted to go ahead and start with the video, but yeah, I sloppily painted them. I think I want to use this for one. I'm gonna kind of have a theme, sort of, I think, this month with specific different, I don't know, like layouts that are definitely weekly. They're different enough to where you know week by week that they're different, but I want them to kind of vibe the same vibe. I don't even know how to say it. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. Like very deep florals, So one of the reasons that I haven't really been doing my planner videos as much, like I got on a really good roll of making a bunch of them and then I kind of just fell off, which is nice about this channel, that I don't have to like feel bad about not being able to get things done, because the reality of the situation is that I can't work like a normal job, you know, like I can't keep stable enough to do that, like consistent enough, I guess. I might use this one too, I don't know. We'll start with these and then see how we're feeling, right? Then we can go from there. So I don't even know, those all three might look really cute on one page instead of spreading them out. Let's see. We'll go in our sticker collection. These stickers, so this is the bin that I had my washi in, but like I said, it was just not great for space. It didn't make sense, so I ended up putting actually all my stickers in here that are like full sheets, or even some full sticker books that I haven't organized yet. I did have someone tell me that they're interested in seeing the sticker organization, so I'll do that at some point. Probably not today, but at some point I would love to be able to do that and go through, because what I'm doing is cutting up since the sticker like adhesive adhered where I didn't want it to last time, I talked about just cutting them up and putting them in like categories. So I've been doing that and just cutting them out, which seems like tedious and a waste of time probably to some, but for me it makes planning so much easier, because I can go and see like, okay, I need errands, you know, and then I can go to that spot in the sticker book and find all the different colors and types of the word errands that I have and pick from that what I think will work best in each spread. It just makes things so much easier from like a creative standpoint, and it's also something easy to do when my brain is just not working with me. I just cut them out and put them in a container like this, and then I can go back and organize them later. So like these would stay together because they're all solid colored flags. These are still haven't been cut out fully. I just cut off, I don't know why I'm so out of frame. I just cut off some of the ones that I was working with, I guess, then. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who did this, but I know this is what we've been doing. See, and like cutting out, like all these are word lists open for writing whatever you need to in there. So I'll do that video, but these are in here for now. And what I need right now is dates. And I may not find a date that I like, but we're gonna try for it. Actually, I might go ahead and start laying stickers down and then do the dates on top of it, because I think I like the way that works. But I can still pick out which ones I want, possibly. Anyway, so my mental health has been a joke lately. And that, it makes it really difficult to want to film or really do any like social media anything, or really anything at all, if I'm being honest. Like today I apparently had a dentist appointment, and I looked back in the text, and we got a text a couple days ago saying that our appointment was today and at what time, and we still forgot and woke up after the appointment was, so we couldn't go. And the only reason we know we missed it is because they sent us a text right when our appointment was to say that we were having our appointment. So even with a reminder text, I completely just forgot that I had to go to the dentist. Part of the reason that is happening, those are cute, but I like the flatter ones, I think, for planners. My kid just keeps taking things and putting them where they think they go, which is super sweet, but these don't go in here. That might be cute. Very fall kind of vibes, wintry flower. So I haven't really been able to do much of anything. Also, I have been having a lot of symptoms like nausea and pain, and I think it's all stress. Like, I mean, some of the pain is from my mystery diagnosis. I know because it started around that time, but another part of it is the nausea, and that is literally just anxiety that's causing that at this point. Like, my pain hasn't been that bad enough to where, see, like, something like that may be cute, but I don't have anything I need ASAP this month, or this week, or this month. I don't have anything. So as you can see, I'm just literally going through, and I think I like this better than before, how it was almost like a file, because this way I can literally just take them out, put them in a pile beside me, and then once I'm done, just pick the whole thing up and plop it in here. It's just easier on the back end, and it is kind of nice because I can see more of them, like they're more spread out. That'll work. So because of my nausea and pain and just overall anxiety, I have been taking, these are so cute, I didn't even know we had these. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, these, like, something like this will be great to just pop in that organizer. So, my gosh, okay. So with all that stuff, I have been, and I've talked about it a little bit, using the different Delta edibles, and that has been a real interesting journey. Yeah, my whole journey with substances and taking them, literally, like, all substances, prescribed or non-prescribed. That would have been helpful today. So it's been really weird because I'll be 28 next month, and I am just now really exploring cannabis as a treatment for anything. I had used CBD in the past, and it worked for very minor pain and anxiety, but not enough for it to be worth it for when I'm actually in more pain, or I'm actually, like, insanely anxious. So I kind of just gave up on it. I didn't smoke for the first time until I was 24. I think was the first time that I tried smoking, and it wasn't the legal kind. But I tried it, and it was a horrible, horrible, horrible experience. I hated every second of it. Might use that. Hated every second of it because I didn't know I had DID at the time, so it was hard to kind of put into words how it made us feel, because it really interacts with our DID pretty heavily, and we can tell when we take it the different effects that it has on the body and like our inner world and just system-like things. So we are having pain and decided that we could give the edibles a try because one of our really good family friends uses them medicinally. And I was like, like, that's worth maybe looking into, because I had never tried an edible, and I thought maybe that would be better because it would be less intense. And the first time I did it, it was fine because I was drunk, so I didn't really notice that much of a difference. But when I did it sober, I thought I was going to end up in psych for having a psychotic break. It was so bad. But then it was suggested that I just took too much and to take a much smaller dose, and I did, and it worked pretty well. It was still really, really heady, like a really heady high, but it wasn't nearly as bad as smoking, and it did help with my pain. And so then I learned about, there's different ones you can buy, like the Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10. I didn't know that they were different in the way that they affected your body. I didn't realize that there was really that much of a difference between the different ones, because again, this is all very new to me. And over different times of going to different smoke shops and talking to different people, we figured out that the Delta 9 is the one that works best for me as far as pain, anxiety, nausea, all that stuff that I deal with. But it still is something that if I take enough to like handle my anxiety and pain, sometimes I take a half, and sometimes I take a whole of these new ones, the Delta 9s, because I got much less, like much lower dose. Some of those might be cute. It's much better for me, and it keeps me, so far, it's kept me from having to take my PRN anxiety medicine. And while there's nothing wrong with that medicine, this is much more natural and more accessible, because that way I don't have to like make sure that I have some, because I haven't refilled my prescription since maybe April, and it's October, so I really don't take them often. I don't like taking them often because it can make me feel kind of high, like very groggy. I'll use that one. So I've started using these, which is great. They're great for you comparatively, but they do kind of make me a little out of it. And it's hard to keep, like, I feel like nothing I say makes sense, but maybe I do make sense and I just don't sound like I make sense to me. Okay. that's all of it. So, all of these ones that I know I'm not going to want, I just plop them back. And it's so nice. Okay, that's those. I don't know if you can hear my kid laughing in the background. I might... We'll see. Which one should I use first? I'm not sure. So, basically, I've been not making videos because I'm still getting used to, like, figuring out dosage-wise and what gummies work and what don't. Just because, I don't know, there's just such a huge learning curve that most people experience much earlier in life than me learning about it in my late 20s. But I figure if I'm going to be learning this for a while, like finding balance, I'm congested all of a sudden, and it might be because I'm switchy. Yep. I can't find the end of it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that my videos, to me, don't make sense. Ooh, I actually don't like those together. I like that though. It's already started. So, yeah. If you don't like the kind of spaced outness, then you don't have to watch it. It's kind of what I've come to. Like, you don't like it, that's okay. But I don't know how long it's gonna be before I am feeling better mentally enough to not be throwing up. Because it helps me from throwing up too. That's one of the things that I have learned about my anxiety is it is very physical. And I think some of it is because there are certain alters that may be anxious and we don't know about it in the full system because it's kind of like how it works. That's how it protects you. So we don't all understand that we're anxious or know why or anything, but the body knows, and our body will start reacting to the anxiety, and the way our body does that is everything comes out one way or another. We mainly vomit a lot, like all the time. And I found that the gummies that I take, the edibles, they really help when I'm feeling nauseous. Pretty much like right away. It doesn't take very long. It takes longer for it to help with my pain, but the help with my nausea is pretty much instantaneous with the Delta 9 strain. And I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but it's been really helping with that. And it's been a real struggle, like, I guess accepting that cannabis can be helpful for me. because I've always been one that super advocates for it. Like, I know of all the awesome things it can be used for, but I've just been like, you can use it, but I can't kind of a mentality, like, kind of writing it off just because I was told at such a young age that I was an addict. I was forced to go to my first few, I don't want to name it, but I'll say, sobriety meetings. That was like my punishment when I was like 13. And I got it in my head then that, like, oh, I must have a problem because I got caught with alcohol. Mind you, it was like the first time I ever drank, and I was not smart about it, got drunk at school, and one of my friends at the time told on us, and we got in trouble. It didn't help that I was drunk. I don't know what other stickers I want to use. So, growing up, I just thought, like, that's for people that aren't addicts, you know? I don't know. I've said it before, but there is such a overlap in the mental health, like, well, they're both mental health. How do I want to say that? Oftentimes, people with bipolar are mistaken as addicts because they do things, you know, out of mania, that could look like addiction. Especially for me, I have OCD as well, so when I get to doing something and I get fixated on it, I do it compulsively because my brain just leans toward compulsions. So if I'm manic with compulsions, it could look a lot like addiction, especially because the things I was doing at the time were things that were common addictions. So that is why I am the way that I am. But in going through all this stuff with my health, my pain, and going to the emergency room twice, and going to specialists and doctors and all this stuff, I still have to wait till December to get any diagnosis or anything. And when I've talked about my pain, the hospital people and the endocrinologists were like, whatever you're doing for pain, if it's working, then good. And Tylenol doesn't work, and I'm not supposed to take ibuprofen with the blood disorder possibility. So, yeah. I'm trying really hard to decide what all I want here. I guess I could crack open my book. See, aren't they cute? So they're made with a label maker, and each one has its own, like, what's in there, but then they have pockets on the back, so you can just slip the different slip the different ones in each pocket. They are not, I think what I'm gonna have to start doing is, like, taping it in some way, like a little piece of tape that I can keep putting back there. Ugh. because that has been happening some, where they fall out. Oh my gosh. Okay. But, I mean, they're really cool. I like them. And then pockets where it's kind of like abstract what could go in there. I went in and I actually just spelled out all the things that would go in there. Like, remember, don't forget, no, they all make sense to be each other, but I also have other ones that is a little bit harder, like important or priority could get put with remember, but it wouldn't be good with like notes, for example. So I had to break them up into categories that made sense to me, and this is like perfect to me, having it organized this way, because like I said before, I can just go in here, grab whatever it is that I need, and pick out what I want to go with that spread, and it's already done, and it's amazing, and I'm absolutely in love with the whole thing. I've even got like the headers, circles, boxes that are empty and open to be filled with anything. These I have here are like motivational sayings. I may want one of those. Focus is pretty. I might use that. I was watching a video by Dissociated, which is a DID system. They've been around for forever on YouTube. Like, I went through this phase where I was learning about DID when I was younger, because I remembered my trauma and stuff, and then I was having all these nightmares, and I just happened to come across with the different like hypnosis, sleep and stuff. I came across the community of like ASMR role plays, and I would listen to the ASMR role plays of someone who was pretending to be my friend and lull me to sleep when I was having nightmares and I wasn't able to sleep. And I fell in love with that whole community. Well, a lot of that community overlaps with trauma, which overlaps with DID. I don't know when it cut off, but what I was saying was Dissociated posted, and it was just amazing. It was amazing. If you aren't familiar with their YouTube channel, it's incredibly informational, and I love it. It's one of the ones that I've kind of just followed throughout time. And oh, that's cute. Hearing that I don't always have to know who's fronted, and that it's not normal to always know. Like, I spent the majority of my life not knowing I had DID. I've only known that I had DID for a year, a little over a year. I'm almost 28. That's a lot of years of not knowing that you have DID and still having it. So all those years, I didn't know who was fronted. We didn't know that, oh, it's Shay, oh, it's Cassie, oh, it's Adam. Like, we didn't have that understanding. It was just always, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I like, because we were switching in and out, and that sense of self just was never developed, which is why the kind of system we are is, You know, instead of having one person and then different alters break off, our trauma happened so young that there was no one to break off from, if that makes sense. So there is no host, there is no original, there's none of that. Everyone is just as much of a part as the other. Everyone is equal in a way. So having that my whole life, never having to think about and identify, okay, who's fronted, it was my normal. So having now where not only do I feel like it's helpful to know who's fronting because we can communicate better around the house, do things easier, like it's better for our lives if we can identify who's fronted, but it's also unrealistic to know all the time. And with other people knowing that you have DID, I feel like there's this internal pressure of, I have to know who I am so I can tell other people. You know, I have to know who I am so that I know how to act. You know, like, it's difficult. And luckily in where my house, I don't have to always announce who's fronted. Like, everyone just kind of lets it be what it is, which is really nice, because weeks like this past week, I literally don't know who is fronted. Like, we just forget everything. No idea what's going on. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess. I was talking to Rachel, and I realized that, sorry, I'm like messing with my sticker book. I realized that it's a lot like depression, where when you're depressed, you kind of know the things that make you happy. Like, if you have a hobby of crocheting, I am really enjoying crocheting right now. So if you have a hobby of crocheting and you know that makes you happy when you're not in a depressive episode, and then you go into a depressive episode, you can crochet and you know it's supposed to make you happy, but it doesn't. That's how everything feels when we're all mixed up and no one person is fronted that we know is fronted. It's like that. It's like you see all these different cool things around you and you know they're all supposed to make you happy, but if you do them, they don't. You like have no sense of what you actually like. I think that crosses over with depression. I know for sure. And then I'm sure a bunch of other different mental illnesses that I don't have experience having. Yeah. It's been a wild time. So doing a video like this where I'm, you know, like under the influence, I guess, like I've taken a gummy to help me not throw up again, because I already dry heaved this morning. So just trying to be able to eat soon, hopefully, and I'll hold it down. And then also not knowing who's fronted. No idea who's fronted. This is probably the first planner video we've ever done not knowing who's fronted, because like I said, we usually don't film them, and if we do, we don't post them. Like, if by the end of the video we still have no clue who it was and everything was rambly and doesn't make any sense at all to us, we just delete it. And so I'm really going out on a limb here posting this one because it's like the things that I'm the most insecure about, right? Not knowing who I am. And when you don't know who you are, it also can sometimes feel like, do I even have DID? You know, because it's so easy to default to that. Like, your brain, easy, I don't mean like easy in life, because it's not, but like your brain, for me at least, your brain defaults to that. And that's what that other system was saying, and it was just so awesome. I'm sure they'll probably never see this, but if they do, that was freaking awesome. It was a really great realization that y'all helped me come to. So thank you for that. I'm having trouble thinking of what to put else in here because I don't have any plans for this week that I know of. My plan was supposed to be going to the dentist. And that was the only thing I had planned that I know of. So I don't want to call it here because I feel like there's barely anything on the page, and I haven't even done the other ones. But this video is like so insanely long already. I don't want to make it a 4-hour long video. So I think that might just do it for right now, and I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been weird. So thanks for hanging in with the weirdness, I guess. If you've hit this point of the video, I really appreciate it. I hope this was somewhat informational, somewhat relaxing. I love these for the body doubling aspect, so, you know, knowing that listening to me can be background noise to help you do anything, or if you're actually watching it just because it's in some way calming, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I'm glad I could help in some small way. Yeah, if you have any questions, or like there's certain videos that you want to see, definitely either leave them in the comments or send me a message. My Instagram DMs, that's probably the one that I check the most, and my Instagram is just crafted. So if you want to message me, that's the best way. Sometimes I'm not good at checking it, but that's the one that I check the most. So definitely head over there and comment, or DM me there for the quickest response. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being there, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.